No, it is your boy all day. D47 AM popping off as much rugby league information as possible. Right now, continuing on with the first games ever by every team, doing it alphabetically, so now we're up to Annandale. So, you don't miss any imperative rugby league information, watching this video all the way through to the end as per always. So, who's Annandale? Rugby league fans might not have heard of Annandale. So Annandale participated in the competition years 1910 up to 1920, and very much success starved during that time. Their first year, this one 1910, and their second year 1911, they went reasonable, but every other year they were either last or close to last. They in fact got the wooden spoon in 1914, 1918, and in 1920. So after getting their third wooden spoon in their final year 1920, they then dissolved and haven't been seen again. But we are doing the first game by every team, so obviously the first game by Annandale is the 1910 round 1 game, where they had the unenviable task of having to play Newtown Jets, or Newtown Blue Bags, as they were also known, and they were never any realistic chance of winning, and they went down to Newtown 31 points to 6. So 1910 round 1, Newtown Jets 31, Annandale, or the Dales as they were also called, 6. And remembering, tries used to be 3 points at the time, so for Annandale, their 6 points is 2 unconverted tries. So one by George Wilcox and the other one by Os Clutton. So those two, Wilcox and Clutton, they'll always hold the honour of scoring the first ever points for Annandale. While for Newtown, they were in riot, getting 7 tries and 5 goals. 7 3-point tries is 21 points. 5 goals is another 10 points, 31 points. So for Newtown, Viv Farnsworth getting 4 tries in the one game by Viv Farnsworth. Then his brother Bill Farnsworth getting 1. That was 5. And then there was also Jack Barnett, he got 1 try, and Paddy McHugh. That was Newtown's 7 tries, and Newtown's 5 goals, 4 by A. Burdett and 1 by Charlie Russell. So Newtown far too good for him. Newtown, of course, ended up winning the comp in 1910 after they'd drawn the 1910 grand final with South 4-all, and were awarded the premiership because they had a better regular season than South by 1 competition point. So Annandale never had a chance of beating the heavyweights in Newtown. Heavyweights in 1910. So when before I forget, so this first ever game played at Wentworth Park in front of 6,000 people, refereed by A. Ballerin, ref name was A. Ballyrun, on the 30th of April 1910. Before I forget that important information too. So when the team lost their first ever game, which most of them did, not all of them, but most teams did lose their first ever game, which is understandable. What we then need to do is go over the games that the team did in fact win in their debut season. So, like when they eventually got their first win and the few games that they did win in their debut season. So Annandale in 1910, at the end of the regular season, they'd played 14 games. They'd managed 5 wins, 1 draw and 8 losses to finish in 6th place out of the 8 teams. And unbelievably, they did the exact same thing in 1911. 5 wins, 1 draw and 8 losses from the 14 games in 1911. Before in 1912, things completely went downhill. I think 1912 they only won 2 games and lost 12. 1913 they only won 3 games and lost 11. 1914 they got the spoon. You get the picture. So these first 2 years, the only time Annandale had anything to cry about. So in 1910, with the 5 wins, 1 draw and 8 losses, altogether they'd scored 145 points in attack, conceded 200 in defence, 4 against -55. But North had finished 7th and West had finished 8th in last place with the wooden spoon. Annandale did in fact manage to beat West and North twice during the season, so there was at least 2 teams that they had the wood over and deserved to finish higher up on the ladder than finishing in 6th compared to North, who were in 7th, and West, who were in 8th. So the first game that Annandale ever won, the round 5 game, they'd beaten Western Suburbs 21-12. First win for Annandale. At long last, in round 6 they'd beaten North 21-10. Like I said, in round 9 they'd beaten Glebe 10-7. And round 10 they'd had 12-all draw with Eastern Suburbs. So that was impressive. A win over Glebe and a draw with East, 2 of the better teams. That was impressive. Before in round 12 they were at it again against Western North. In round 12, 1910. Annandale this time had flogged West 25-3, and around 13 a very impressive shutout, 8-0 over Norths, shutting out Norths 8-0 in 1910 round 13. So there you go. But obviously, so they'd beaten Western Norths who were below them, but they just couldn't stand up against the other teams most of the time. So there you go. The first game ever by every team. So for Annandale, the 9-10 round 1 game, they went down to Newtown Jets 31 points to 6, before eventually having a reasonable season in 9-10 the first year, reasonable season 9-11, but not doing much after that, before becoming extinct after getting their third wooden spoon at the end of 1920. So if you're still watching all the way through to the end, as per requested, thank you so much for not missing any imperative rugby league information. And I'll say it for the billionth time, thank you so much all day for that ongoing, pulverising, brutal, head-splitting, skull-cracking, brain-crushing, brutal support. Next team in the video series is going to be Balmain, the first ever game by Balmain, 1908 round 1. Good boy all day, D47, 2-0.